was a member of the board of the USAPA back in 2006, 7, 8. I don't remember. And it's a great group of people, and gosh, how it's grown. I mean, and how from literally one person's idea, from Marc Friedenberg, who brought that to be, and helped to make it what it is today. I mean, it's truly phenomenal, and he's to be congratulated for everything he's done for this sport. It's a great group. It really is.
Can you talk a little bit about your time being a board member of the USAPA? What was your responsibility?
I was working the newsletter at that time, and that sort of made sense. Handled secretarial duties for a while. So but we would get together in somebody's home, and those who couldn't attend, who weren't here in Surprise, and we did have members who either would go back to Washington, which is primarily the other Mecca at the time. We would meet via Skype. And in those days, it wasn't what it is today. And sometimes the microphone would cut out and you could barely hear people. And sometimes there was no video, but, we managed to get it done. But we had forming some of the things that today are routine. The teaching in the schools, I remember that was a big deal. It had just started up, and getting people involved as ambassadors. All of that was happening at the time that I was a board member there. And you look at what's going on today, and you think, well, how could that never have been, there? But the sport was very tiny still then, and compared to now. I remember when they first started gathering the history of the sport too, and trying to do the research and getting back to, the founders and the original court and doing all of that. That wasn't all that long ago, and it's amazing how it's come.
The USAPA newsletter is morphing into the Pickleball magazine. What do you think of the Pickleball magazine?
I think it serves a need, and it's been something that was bound to happen. My view of this is that it's a changing, growing entity. Pickleball, we were talking about this before you went on air today. Pickleball is something that will continue to change. And a lot of people that I've talked to seem to be bothered by that recently. And I think that's in part due to the introduction of a sport where we have professionals now. And that is difficult for some people to deal with because it changes the face of it. Significantly, I think, when you now have money involved and you have, it's no longer just something you do for fun. There are people whose job it is to travel the world and play pickleball now. And that's relatively new in the last, couple of years, I think, 2-3 years. So you have the folks who play in small communities and who are still trying to get their friends to know what pickleball is on the one end of the spectrum, and you have people whose job it is to play pickleball on the other, and getting those two to mesh together isn't as easy as it might be. We're going through growing pains, and it hurts a little bit, but I don't see it as something that you can buck. It's gonna keep changing. It has to grow. They've modeled the USAPA in some ways after the USTA, I believe, and how they did what they did. And I used to look at the USTA and think about, well, we've got professional tennis players. We've got, all the opens that happen everywhere all over the world. And we'll be there someday in pickleball. And I could see it coming. So I don't know. I see it as a natural evolution. And something we just have to live with.